Hello, world. This is Talkin Live. Okay, I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show, and we was hoping you might come, and I was going to send you a plane ticket, Dre, for you to come. But
nobody mentioned that to me.
They didn't mention that. I was going to pay your hotel bill and plane ticket and all of it.
Well, wow, thank you. Well, we can still do that another time, okay?
Yeah, and I understand you work with Linda Blair on other stuff with dogs and cats and all that.
So again, what about dogs and cats and all that?
I understand you work with Linda Blair. I see you maybe Betty White.
Okay, let me broaden that out a little bit. It's all animals, all sentient beings, whether they're feathered or finned or what? What's the scales? Whether they're crawling, flying, or sitting in your lap. I'm here to do my best to make sure they have the best quality of life they deserve.
Yeah,
you have it.
Yeah,
all of them, all of the above.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I used to have parrots and monkeys and all that. So.
Yes.
And I appreciate what you're doing for animals, and I mean they're the part of our life here, and it is mine anyway. I have 6 dogs and 2 cats, and
oh wow, you rescued?
Yeah, except the one I paid $20 for at Walmart.
So, well, that sounds more like a rescue to me.
Yeah, well,
I just don't want you to go to a breeder or I don't know, whatever is out there, some storefront selling animals. We don't buy and sell them. We rescue and place and care for. So, but I'm like spitting everything out in a nutshell so that I'm answering questions that may be out there.
Yeah, I love, all kinds of animals. I mean, and those that, I've had people tell me, well, I'm going to the breeder. I said, there's all kinds of dogs over in the shelter. Why would you go pay for one? And
well, because I guess American greed. I don't know. Well, where there's a buck, some animal is suffering, and I'm here to try to change that.
Yeah, and well, we would be glad anything you want to send us that we can run on and we're going on the cable system in Chattanooga, and anything you can send us that you want us to run for you, for the animals, for donations. I understand you sell perfume and you sell all kinds of different.
That is correct. So what I want to do is lead you to my website so that all of your listeners or your viewers or friends, family, they know where to go to get my art book, to get my perfume, or just to send me a message maybe about my jewelry. Soon I will have a very short jewelry line appearing on my website, which is Switheart, one word, SWITHEART.org. And that's my website, and I try to put as many things on the website to sell for my charity as many as I can. But the jewelry is developing into something very pretty. Little heart-shaped necklaces, heart-shaped in a topaz. Topaz is my birthstone, and the topaz one is mine can be colorless, can be white like a diamond. And we can infuse your birthstone color so that my birthstone and your birthstone will merge, and it's our necklace. And that's my whole thing, to keep heart in what I'm doing, to keep everybody's heart and go heart to heart on saving animals, helping animals, and that's the story. Morning Glory.
Yeah, and as you are talking, they are, so you'll know, you can see, but as you're talking, my engineer is showing you with all kind of animals. He's showing your perfume or your whatever you have on your website. He's showing
Yes,
that right now.
I made some very nice videos for you to have to look at, to send to show and help me out and help out the charity. And as a result, help out animals. You know, it just gave me such pleasure. Last week, the charity sent $1,000 for the surgery of a little much, a cute little animal who had been shot by some macho guy with a gun. Shot this little dog, 6 months old. And I was able to contribute some charity dollars to the surgery, and that gave me great pleasure, as I'm sure it did for everybody who has contributed to my charity. And
Yes.
I like to tell people what their dollars help is doing them.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a dog running up and down the street next to my house, had a broke leg, and it scrolled back, and this crippled. I finally coasted in. It's a little miniature Doberman Pinscher, and it's a girl, and I took her over there and got her fixed up, and I had a couple of bulldogs come to my plant. I have a plant recycling, and one of them's eye was somebody knocked one of their eye out, and I took them both over to veterinarian and fixed them all up, and they got a good home. They adopt them out and got them a good home, That's
excellent. That is just really going full circle and helping out in every way. And I so appreciate your efforts and what you're doing. It's on the same page as I am.
Yeah, and I can't stand. I seen the video, and this woman taking the thing, beating the dogs in China, the way they treat their animals, and
I know we have to show those. We have to show people the hurt and the pain. You have to look at it so you know what you're fighting and you know what you're helping by contributing and by trying to change.
Yeah, there's so many people want to stick their head in the ground and make out like everything's okay. But
I understand that. I understand people don't want to know. I had a good friend I was trying to explain that's what fur coat good for. The pain and suffering of 50 animals that went into making the coat. And she said, "Oh, no, don't tell me. I don't want to know." And I said, "That's the problem. If you knew, you wouldn't wear that coat or buy it, that's the problem. Knowledge is really power. Knowing. Don't ever walk away from knowledge. Get to know what is involved here, and then make your decision based on that. You can make a wise decision if you have all the facts."
Yeah. If I could feed the world and take care of the world, I would. But we can only do our part. That's all we can do, and that's what people don't understand. They can do their part. They say, "Well, I can't do nothing about it." Yeah, you can. You can do your part.
Yes, you can. That's right. Good for you. Yes, you can.
And I just don't want to. That's what it is, and
make a decision.
If I see somebody hurting animals, I just have to do something about it. I just can't do that. I've seen some cruel, pardon my French, bastards. But I've seen some really sorry people. The scum dirt to me that do that. Innocent. That's like taking a baby and beating the baby. It's innocent. Dogs have such a great love for people, and that's what's wonderful about animals. If they see that they can trust you, and they know who they can trust, and they know who loves them too, Betty. And
Yes.
and it's a really tormenting thing for me to say something like that. And as my engineer is passing some pictures across, I see you with Betty White, and I understand you won an award with Betty White, or her foundation, or
Many, yes, indeed. Many awards, and I mean, it's gratifying and flattering, fulfilling. It's not what it's all about. What it's all about is always the animals and how are we helping? What good are we doing? Are we making a change? There is always room for a change in what we do. Otherwise, we stop growing. And when we stop growing, what happens? We die. And I don't want that to happen. So, but I'm so glad to hear the integrity in your voice about saving and caring. And I know that you and I, with our voices, are reaching out and affecting people and how they think.
Yeah, I think it should be a federal offense to hurt any animal or, of course, a human being. But, I think it should be a federal offense to do things that they do to animals nowadays. And I understand you was at your Champions Award in 2016 Global Wildlife Convention. You won a champion award. And everybody should appreciate someone like you that is doing what you're doing. I do.
I'm not doing it alone. Everybody contributing, listening, learning, and trying to help. There's so many things that you can do. I mean, I have had people saying, I'd like to get involved. What can I do to help? You can go to your shelter and volunteer. You can walk some of the animals there so that they don't get cage hopping, until they're adopted or cared for. They're in a cage. Just put yourself in there. I mean, they're like us, only they have fur coats. That's the only thing. You take them out for a walk. That's a great contribution that you can make. If you really care and you want to do something, that would be something you could do right off the bat. Volunteer to help. Our certain little cat cages. We don't walk cats, obviously. And you would play with them, let them get them accustomed to human kindness. $1 from 100 people is $100, and I can do a lot with that in my charity. It goes a long way. So that's what we're all about. That's what we're doing here.
Did you ever travel down toward Georgia?
Not so far. I used to work on stage at the Peachtree Playhouse, so I do venture down south a lot, and love it. I have to say, love the charity and love and giving and hospitality, which is not urban legend. Southern hospitality, folks, really exist big time.
Yeah, do you have any animals at home?
I do indeed. I have two little munchkins. They're Yorkshire Terriers, and they are the loves of my life. They were both rescued. I rescued them from the MSPCA in Boston, who took them in from families who could not afford the medical. And they called me, and I said, I got it. I'm on it. I'll come driving out there. I drove to Boston and picked up my two little cuties, and they are the love life of my life.
Yeah, I have two cats that I built a 40 by 40 cage because they couldn't go out around because one of them had declawed and one of them had a stroke, and I just took them and put them in one of my houses. I just opened the basement door if they got a big area, and they go outside and they look, and they sit out there and just enjoy themselves. And then I take them in the house and let them run around the house. They love that, but they're adopted too. But that one of them's named Ricky, and the other names I call her Mama. But
you don't have any predators there, do you? To worry about?
Have any what now?
Any predators?
No. And besides, they couldn't get to them anyway. They're in a chain link fence. They're in a chain link fence. It's all over the top of them. I mean, it's completely boxed in.
Yeah, great. Good for you. You sound like my kind of guy. This is what we do. We care for them as best we can.
Yeah, I had a capuchin monkey and a girl capuchin monkey, and then I had two squirrel monkeys, and I built them a brick building, and I put the capuchin monkey on one side, and I had the cage built, great big giant cage where the capuchin could go out and enjoy himself, and the girl, and then I had it fixed where the squirrel monkeys could go out and play, and I made a mistake by putting the thermostat. I put them centimeter her in there. And I made a mistake by leaving the control of the heat and air. I didn't put a lock on it, and the little girl squirrel monkey was turning it up and down, up and down, up and down.
Oh no! Oh, geez.
Yeah, they can do some things, man. And I used to take my little squirrel monkey out, and he'd go out in the field and catch grasshoppers, and then come back to me, and I'd put him back in his cage. He loved and he loved wasp nests too. I mean, it's the funniest thing you ever see. But I'm sure
there's something that you could do for me, which is imminent. I'll be in Denver, outside of Denver. I'll be in Colorado Springs on the 25th, 26th, 27th of this month for the end of August. And if you want to spread the word, I know you're not very close to Colorado. However, you never know. Somebody says, I've got relatives or I got friends living there. Have them stop by, and Jamie Farr from M.A.SH will be there with me, and Jeff Maxwell from M.A.SH. And the three of us, we take photos with our fans. We sell photos from the show, and I will bring my book, which is a very big seller at these shows. And I will bring my perfume. And I just won't have the jewelry at these shows. I think it's not the audience for that. I'll be doing some other real jewelry shows. When people.
All you have to do is send me that ad, and I'll run it for you.
Okay, because I will have some jewelry shows coming up where the jewelry, the perfume, and the book will be available. And the jewelry is really beautiful. I want to talk about that a little bit. But anyway, there's a good chance I'm going to Philadelphia and Collinsville, Illinois, Timonium, Maryland, Houston, Dallas. That's, we're getting closer to you. Let's see, where else may I go? Marlboro, Maryland, not too close. Back to Illinois, to Rosemont. But these are potential jewelry shows. And I will, once I'm firm to appear, I will have Harlan send you the schedule, okay?
Okay. And we've definitely run it, like I say, on cable, I mean, we had a lot of people around here loves animals too. And on your book entitled "Sweetheart," you know, we'll put that out there too. You know, basically, basically, what's your book about? I mean,
but the book contains 65 watercolor paintings that I've done, and they're all animals. There are a few florals, but mostly it's animals, which is what the Swit art is all about. It's all about selling the book with stories about animals and my paintings. And we sell prints of my paintings. I mean, anything we can do, animal related, to raise money for the charity, so that we can help the real life animals in those paintings. And that's when I come full circle with that.
yeah. How many? You just have one charity you work with, or two, or three?
No. It's the best. Did you get a copy of the book?
No, I hadn't.
Okay, you have to get a copy, so that the next time we talk, you're looking at the pages in the back that have a full list of all the shelters and organizations that are my alliances.
Okay.
The name of my charity is Sweetheart Animal Alliances.
Yeah.
The workable part of that title is alliance. So I have an alliance with many charities and organizations that are animal related, to helping animals. So they're all humane organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I have an alliance with the MSPCA, which is how I acquired my two rescues. So it goes. I just sent off a big care package for a fundraiser that's going to Kauai, because I'm affiliated with the Kauai Humane Society.
Yeah.
The $1,000 I sent for that surgery I told you about went to Florida, which is another alliance of mine in St. Augustine. It's called Amos Acres. They're a charity. They're not. I shouldn't say a charity. They are a shelter that rescues animals and so forth. So it's a big spread. It's a big page filled with names and places, and you can go direct to them if you want to, because eventually the monies you're giving to my charity is going to go to them when they reach out to me and say, we need X amount of dollars to help us rescue this animal who needs X amount of dollars for surgery. But it's just one big bowl, one big fish bowl, and we help each other.
Do you work with any veterinarians or?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. In fact, one of our major projects right now is to try to lower some of the veterinary pricing. Number two, or B, is to have my charity contribute to pick up some of the slack. You have a family come in who cannot afford to do such and such, but they love their animals. What can we do to help? So the vet will suggest, let's say, a number. Instead of 5, it's going to be 3.5. And they're going to contribute the half, and they're going to call Loretta and ask her to pick up the slack. So we save that animal, all 3 parties. And that's what we're trying to do now. And if we can get a lot of veterinary offices to contribute to that, we have a good thing going. Some people love their animals, cannot even afford to spay or neuter the animals. This is wrong. We've got to fix that, because we must learn to spay and neuter. Otherwise, we'll never get ahead of the problem. We're killing millions of animals these days because there are no homes for them. We have to stop this.
Yeah.
We cannot have them running around unspayed, unneutered. We have to fix that. It's our first.
Well, that's the first thing I do with the animals I have, because I'm 75. So just let you know, I'm 75-year-old, and you know, I can take care of only so much at a time. And, you know, when I get up in the morning, I go feed 6 dogs and 2 cats. And I always make sure that they got their food. I take them to the vet. I bought me a motorhome so I could take them all to the vet at one time. But I look after them. I made sure to get their flea pills, their shots, and all that, and you know, and and now my little deer head, I don't. He's long. His body's real long. Okay, and he's got a long spine. And the reason I got him neutered is because he jumps around. If he gains a bunch of weight, he jumps around, and that when you neuter him, they gain weight. And when he jumps around, I just, you know, he don't have a girlfriend. He can't. He's got the other one, she's neutered, but I don't want him to gain weight and jump and mess up his spine. I had a Powerball. His spine got messed up, and
listen, you're getting a first-hand message from one of my Yorkies.
Yeah, I heard him.
I have to take them out now and give them a Yorkie.
Yeah, my dog was barking then. I think it might have hurt him. I don't know where you heard it.
She's demanding. I need to walk them. Is there anything else I can contribute to tell you about? Can I tell you anything else that you need to know that you can spread the word about?
Yeah, I don't know how you stand all that traveling.
Well, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Eleanor Roosevelt, I was a great fan. She said things that need to be done can usually be done, and then she just went out and did them.
Yeah.
And I think,
you know, I don't.
It's not to be in a female DNA. We just go out and do it. That's it.
It's a pleasure to have you on. I'm looking forward to work with you, and you have a great evening. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed on all Talkin Live presentations are those of the host and their guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of the Talkin Live TV broadcast studio, or by this channel or its management.